Hello, hello, lovely Love Advice TV community. Coach Adrian here, as always, to do yet another live on this Friday afternoon. Super excited to be connecting with all of you as always. And it's been a great week. It's been a great week for a lot of the people that I work with. So I'm super fired up to be able to share some of the lessons learned and things that I've discussed in private coaching sessions with good people all over the world who are fighting to rebuild a healthy relationship. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk about a concept that has helped quite a few people. And it's this idea of moving forward versus moving on after a breakup. Does healing from a breakup mean moving on? And that is a question that continuously seems to come up in my coaching sessions when I ask people to put their game plan into motion. Because the reality of it is that words matter and that mindset is everything during breakup recovery and in life in general. So I think that it's a very important topic for everyone, regardless of where you are in your breakup recovery process. It's super super important for you to understand this nuance between moving forward and moving on, and why certain people have such a hard time with this notion of moving on. So I see people trickling in with nice messages from Claudia and Adinsita and Geek and Ayushi. So thank you guys as always for connecting live with me. And after I add this my little intervention here, I'm gonna open it up for questions as always. Try to give you guys a chance to let me know what you're dealing with, and provide you with some guidance and some tips. So again, for those of you who just are arriving late, this YouTube live is about this notion of moving forward versus moving on. And a lot of times, move on, when you hear those words after a breakup from friends or from family members, it really brings you down. It is, in fact, negative, hurtful, and even toxic. When someone tells you just move on or you should move on, it is toxic because it does not validate the pain that you feel after a breakup. People just expect you to go like this and to move on. And the reality of it is that a lot of times people don't understand the pain that you are going through. And when someone tells you to just move on, it is, in fact, that what they are conveying to you is that they have a trouble empathizing with what you're going through. And that's why I very rarely tell my clients move on. In some cases, I think that they should let go, and I don't think that it is right for them to fight for the relationship. But telling someone to move on is a trigger. It's not helpful. Now, having said that, it's very important for you to understand that it at some point during your breakup recovery, during your grieving phase of the process, you need to let yourself feel a different range of emotions and not suppress them. Okay? So that is something that a lot of people also have trouble with. You feel like you're supposed to be the superhuman who is not feeling any pain, or that you shouldn't be crying, or that you shouldn't have made some mistakes. And the reality of it is that it's an emotional process. It's very difficult. You're going through the challenge of a lifetime, and you need to not suppress these emotions. Okay? And when we talk about moving forward, it is moving forward from these negative emotions. You can carry the pain of the breakup without letting it destroy you. So when I tell my clients, let's work on moving forward, I'm sorry, what in essence we're doing is we are honoring the relationship. We are letting you not blame yourself or live in guilt and remorse. And we're helping you rebuild, create a new identity that is independent from the breakup itself. So I try to help people to really see the positive elements and the life experiences from the failed aspects of the relationship. You need to be able to use this separation as a way to make yourself better. If you don't do this, if you don't become better, it's not realistic to expect your partner to want to get back with you. It's not realistic to make it work, to create a relationship where you guys are actually going to be happy. And unfortunately, a lot of people try to get back together without having moved forward and learned from it. And they go through a series of just breakups, and they get back together and break up again, and multiple breakups. And I've seen people break up so many times because they haven't moved forward. And it is necessary in order to move forward to find purpose and to find meaningfulness, right? From everything that has happened. You need to find meaning. You need to redefine yourself and to find purpose in order to move forward, in order to get to the point where you don't need to get back with your ex, you would choose to, with a balanced relationship, not you doing all the work, not feeling like your life is going to end if you don't get back together, but choosing to be together, just like the first time around when you naturally and organically attracted each other, right? And the question that one of the most common questions that I get in coaching sessions when we talk about healing and basically rediscovering yourself and being patient, people always tell me, well, if I heal, wouldn't I just move on? Wouldn't I just move on if I heal from this relationship or from the breakup? And no, it's what I just explained a few seconds ago. The big difference is that when you heal, you can then choose to get back together and not just be a slave to your emotions, not feel like your life is ending and that you need your partner to exist. Because once you're in that mindset, you come from a place of neediness and desperation and vulnerability. And it's not a good place to be in, and it pushes your significant other away. Okay? So you cannot let the breakup itself consume you. And you need to move forward past this initial stage of grief in order to be able to reinvent yourself and to potentially get back together. That's why I often talk about moving forward. That's why you will hear me in videos and in coaching sessions talk about the need for you to move forward in order to achieve your goals. And that's why the next time that someone tells you that you should just move on, you'll know that they don't understand. They don't get it. They don't have the empathy to understand the pain that you're going through, even if they love you, even if they care about you, because a lot of times people that are telling you that actually do care and do love you. Those are your closest friends and your family members that are saying that from a place of love because they don't want to see you suffer, but they don't get it because that's not what you need. And in some ways, it's insulting and it does not validate the relationship that you had and the emotions that you feel. But moving forward does. And that is what I really, really suggest that you focus on as part of your breakup recovery journey. So, this was the topic of the day and why I think it's essential for you to understand the nuance between moving forward and moving on. Words matter, mindset matters, and just shifting things, your perspective on your relationship and what is happening to you can really, truly help you achieve your goals, no matter what they are after this separation and through the tough times that you're experiencing at the moment. So if you will be working on moving forward, if you understand the message that I'm trying to convey to you, please give me a thumbs up, like this video, so that I know that my message is going through and so that we can start to interact back and forth. Now, having said all that, if you have questions for me, please don't hesitate uh, to to go for it. Share your story in a few words. Tell me what you're struggling with, and it'd be my pleasure to provide you with a little bit of guidance here. And thank you to Happy Girl and Crystal and Diane and Tana. You are on the right track. So, Amanda Huan says, I've done no contact for the last week. His birthday's next week. What do I do? So, it's a question that comes up a lot. And the reality of it is that there's no clear cut answer. I need to know the mistakes that were made, if you're on friendly terms or not, because it matters. The context matters. And usually, if you've been too needy, if you've been too desperate, if your significant other has been very negative, then it's probably best for you to pull away. If you're still on decent terms, if the breakup was amicable, then it's okay for you to reach out to them in order to continue to nurture that communication platform and to show them that you're not bitter or resentful. But when in doubt, don't reach out. And if you do reach out, don't overdo it, because a lot of times people tend to put their ex on a pedestal by giving them more attention than they deserve. So, as a rule of thumb, don't reward the negative behavior after a breakup. If your significant other has not treated you right or has been negative towards you, it's better to pull away. Okay, so Shraddha says, what if your partner is not at all ready to do anything for the relationship? Like they have given up and behave as if it's normal for them to lose you. Okay, that's okay, Shraddha. A lot of this is what I see on a regular basis. And people grieve in different ways. And it's always a lot easier for the person that is choosing to end the relationship than it is for the person that has to suffer the consequences of that decision. When you feel out of control, when you don't have a say, it's a lot more difficult to manage your emotions. And what I usually see is that the person that is choosing freedom and to break up has an initial honeymoon phase where they're rediscovering their freedom and their independence. But ultimately, if you approach this process the right way, if you're focusing on what you can control, the roles will shift. They will understand what they've lost, whether they're dating or not, and you will start to feel a lot better. And I see a correlation or an inverse correlation. When one person usually starts to bounce back, the other person starts to feel the heat. So don't lose hope. Geek says, thank you, Geek. My ex started talking to my mom's on social media. She has a rebound. I'm confused. All right. So don't let her get into your head. You can't control what she does, but you can control how you react to what she does. And she probably had a decent relationship with your mother, I assume, if she's talking to her on social media. But if she did not have a good relationship with your mother, then it's just a desperate attempt to get your attention. If she did have a decent relationship with your mother, it can be either selfishness and carelessness, not understanding how that may affect you, and being so consumed by her selfish desires and her lower nature, or it can be that she's trying to keep her options open and that she wants the best of both worlds, right? So, as I would do my utmost to not show that you are triggered, I would not reach out and ask her not to contact your mom or do anything like that. Take the high road. Show her that you are in a good place, that you're moving forward, that you're not going to let her get to you. And also, don't try to back channel. Don't connect with your mom and try to get her to send some sort of significant message to her, because it's not going to work out. Don't play games. Just focus on you, on the things you can control, on making you the best version of yourself. And when she experiences tough times with this new person, or when the breakup occurs, I am pretty sure that she's going to come running back. And then you'll be in a position of strength and more in control. So don't lose hope. Isis Michelle says she finally is live and she loves me. Thank you. I love you too for the trust and and for the connection. So, your positive message don't go unnoticed. I am thankful. Kayla says, my ex says he wants to be friends in the future, but he needs space right now because he's working through some personal issues. How do you deal? You deal by giving them space. And if you fight to be in someone's life that doesn't want to be with you, you're going to get yourself in trouble. And a lot of times, men go through these struggles, and they feel like more freedom and more independence will enable them to deal with those personal issues or to find themselves. And as long as you give them the space, as long as you don't devalue yourself, you'll see that he'll end up realizing that he's not happier without you. As long as you are showcasing the best of what you have to offer and not being vulnerable and chasing him and not giving him what he wants. So give him what he says he wants, and he needs to lose you. You need to be social. You need to move forward with your life so that he understands that there are consequences to these types of decisions. And sure, in the future, when you feel ready, not out of desperation, but because you feel like you can handle it, it is okay to be in each other's lives, as long as you're able to set boundaries. Because if you're not able to set boundaries, you're going to suffer a lot. Okay. Abby Morris says, hi, my husband left me after 13 years earlier this year, and within a month was dating a work colleague. I just want him back. I'm doing no contact, but I did beg, cry, and say some nasty things prior. So, Abby, I'm really sorry for what you're going through, and I would love to work with you to be able to provide you with a more in-depth game plan. You're in a very difficult situation, and I'm sure that you've been through the roller coaster of emotions. There's no quick fix here, and we need to work together to understand exactly what went wrong and to see if it's even worth fighting for this man. Because after a month dating a colleague, after 13 years together, it is pretty cruel, and we want to make sure that you are fighting the good fight. So if you can, please, let's work together. But until then, you need to be patient. Do not chase him. You cannot reward the negative behavior yet again. You cannot compete with this coworker. It's about healing and moving forward, like I talked about in this video. Not about moving on. I know that you don't want to do that, but it is about moving forward and trying to see the positives here and to redefine yourself. And again, I'd love to be able to work together because I know how difficult it can be. Okay, so Claudia says, not a question, but a suggestion. You never talk about sex buddies, which almost were a couple. Please do a video talking about it. Cool. Got it. We're actually going back into the Love Advice TV studios next week to go back to our regular format of videos. And I was actually going to email clients to see what topics you want us to address. So Claudia, I will do my utmost to address this topic, and thank you for your suggestion and contribution. We're a community, and we're here to serve you guys in some ways. So, yes, I will do my utmost to address that topic next week when I go do live videos, or in-studio videos, I should say. Hillary Wand, why would my ex-husband tell me he's dating someone? He's the one that left. So again, a lot of empathy for what you're dealing with here. It's difficult, but when someone goes through a breakup, they're oblivious to your needs, emotions. They're in a selfish mindset. And a lot of times they either want to assert their freedom and independence, especially when you're being too needy. So they tell you things that they feel they need to tell you, the tough love that you need so that you can move on. Or they're just careless and don't have any sort of sympathy for how that may make you feel. And that's why it's important to focus on the things you can't control. You cannot control who he dates, what he does, but you can set boundaries, and you can make sure that you don't reward the negative behavior and chase this man. You are also in a situation where you absolutely need to think about this concept of moving forward in order to basically, he needs to lose you again so that you regain control over yourself and your life. Okay. Wow. There are a lot of messages coming in here. How do I make my ex realize what she's lost? When she has said she misses what we had, but doesn't want it because she didn't want a relationship in college, but has been messing with other guys. So you make an ex realize what she's lost by moving forward and by following, the concepts that we've discussed earlier in this videos. Ultimately, you need to be able to find yourself again and to regain a sense of confidence and well-being. That is the foundation of any attraction process. And you can't change what your ex says she wants. All that you can do is be that man that she fell for, and force her to see the consequences of the decision that she's made. So don't worry about her. Don't try to overanalyze her words and her actions, and give her space and show her that you're not desperate. And I'm pretty sure that she will come back to you at some point. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question, and then I'm gonna have to go because I have a coaching session coming up. Okay. Okay. So it's been 2 months. She has a new boyfriend. Contacts me 2 times a month. She last texted me asking how to get to the special place I took her to that she could have easily Googled. Is she playing with me? It depends the nature of the messages. Yes, if it's a special place, it seems like quite an immature behavior, and definitely this person does not want you to move forward or to move on. And don't show that you're not triggered. Show that you're not bothered by these types of mind games. Okay, very important that you just focus on making sure that you don't make any mistakes, that you don't show how affected you are by these types of interactions. And remember that you don't have to interact with everything that she says. Just because she messages you doesn't mean that it warrants a response. It's okay for you to showcase that you're an independent agent and things are not the same. You don't owe them anything. You're no longer together. So she needs to fight for you in order for this balance of power to be a little bit more leveled here. And if you feel like she's playing game, then take a step back and stop interacting. Stop interacting with her altogether. Again, don't reward the negative actions. Um, Again, guys, thank you so much for all your positive words. It means a lot. As always, you know that we try to do what we can through these lives. I hope that it was helpful. I think we are going to be switching back to our regular format of videos soon. And if you have questions for me, if you'd like us to work together, please do reach out and let's work together. Let's work together, book a coaching session, and it'd be my pleasure to work together. All right. As always, you can find me on withmyexagain.com/coaching. Thank you. Take good care and see you soon on Love Advice TV.